12 countries are working towards sealing the deal on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The nations include the U.S. and Japan. They're meeting on the Hawaiian Islands in Maui for talks. Mr. Sean Calebs joins me now. You've been following all of this. This, we don't have to go through the history of it, but this is a long time in the making, and we're all waiting for news. What do we know? Exactly. It is an important time, and while no one wants to use the term final to characterize the TPP talks right now, there are still many unresolved issues as the United States and Japan, the two largest players, try and drive home a joint resolution. They came to Paradise to try to wrap up a long-term trade agreement that has been a nightmare in the making, the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
I think it's fair to say that getting these bills through Congress has not been easy. They've been declared dead more than once.
In Hawaii, talks to form a free trade agreement among 12 nations are in the final stretch. Despite optimism from many of the delegates, this week is considered a make-or-break chance to hammer out the world's largest free trade zone in decades. The glaring absence, not invited to be a member nation, is China. Although the two largest economies in the world, the U.S. and China, have indicated they should strive for more trade liberalization and work to better integrate their economies. TPP negotiations are said to be in the final round, but hurdles remain.
All things considered, with the 12 nations involved, we are working toward a completed result by the upcoming deadline.
The United States and Japan, the two largest economies in the TPP, would account for about 80% of the value of all goods in the free trade framework. The U.S. may be ready to reduce or eliminate tariffs on Japanese car products once the TPP takes effect. But that has been a sticking point in bilateral talks between the two nations. In return, the U.S. could ship rice, pork, and other goods to Japan without duties or tariffs.
And they made very good progress in terms of narrowing differences, closing out issues. But there are still, of course, tough political issues that need to be resolved.
As for outstanding issues, neither major player, the U.S. or Japan, will sign the accord unless Malaysia, Vietnam, Australia, and other countries agree. And those nations say they still have outstanding issues. For example, Australia is especially concerned over pharmaceutical issues, opposing the U.S. demand to honor drug patents for 12 years before allowing companies to make generic equivalents. And Australia doesn't want to share its newest, most effective medications with TPP nations.
Now, here's the timing problem from the U.S. standpoint. More than 4 months must pass between the time a deal is signed and Congress has a chance to approve it. So unless all parties come to an agreement this week, it means an accord will not go before U.S. lawmakers until 2016. And of course, 2016 means presidential and congressional races. They will be in full gear, and the TPP would more than likely end up on the back burner, Phil.
What's going on with China? They're obviously not in the deal. There was some talk that they could, they won't. Why are they not in the deal?
A lot is going on. Specifically, Japan looks at this as not just an economic pact, but also a security one. And by striking a trade agreement with the U.S. and 10 other nations, it's going to basically guarantee they are going to have free trade and possibly emerge as bigger players in the area. Secondly, if they do set the rules now and China wants to come in later, the rules are already set in place. So either they play by the TPP rules or they're not a part of it.
Very quickly, you said the U.S. really does want this deal, and we have some proof of that?
Yeah, exactly. The U.S. has recently upgraded Malaysia's human rights status, and a lot of critics are furious because they are notorious violators in terms of human trafficking, sex trade, and by upgrading them, critics say this is the most transparent, shameless thing the U.S. could do, basically just opens up this possibility simply for trade, not because of anything Malaysia's done to combat human rights.
All right, Sean, thank you. It sounds like there's a lot more involved than just trade. Thank you.